Two Live Crew stopped making records, stopped being able to do business. No, the reason why I say that is because we made the records, everybody else copycatted what we were doing because they seen it was making money. When we stopped as a unit making records, the only other group that was consistently doing stuff was 95 South and 69 Boys, and then you had a group here, a group there making a record, but they were trying to clean up the music that was known as being raunchy. You understand what I'm saying? That's why the 69 Boys, they had decent success with the records that they did, but they couldn't have the consistency because it wasn't the raw. I don't believe that.
No? Okay.
Nah, sampling, I'm going to tell you, at the time, like 93, 94, sampling was very difficult, but the way that, there's a couple of records like Shake What Your Mama Gave You and a couple of other records, they had like little stabs here and there, stuff that was unrecognizable to where they could really put in lawsuits. So that part of it, maybe the way that my actual blueprint of doing the records maybe would cost a little more money to be able to do it. But the energy from it, you had to just be creative on how you do stuff. Two Live Crew was the only one that was consistently doing those type of records, and when we had disagreements with each other and split up and everybody started doing their own individual things, that's what really was the whole demise of it, because you can't even point to any other group in Miami-based that had more than 2 albums outside of us. Nobody.
You got DJ Magic Mike, for example.
You can't count Magic Mike.
What?
You can't count Magic Mike because what he was doing was, how can I put it? He had a couple of records like the traditional way that a Miami-based record would be. Then he started doing records that just had rumbling bass all the way through it, and a lot of these guys were using the records to play in their cars for car shows, for car competitions, for the sound in their cars. So he was doing bass, but it was like the stuff that the electro stuff is kind of built and based off of where you got a whole bunch of music, but it's just bass, a lot of 808 rumbles and things like that. That's what he was doing. He wasn't really making, he had one record, dropped the bass, and a couple of other ones, but I think a lot of those records was on the same album. But the other ones that he was constantly putting out was records that were that was made strictly for the car competitions and things like that. I know Magic Mike, and I've known him for years, and he's a good dude, but he'll tell you that, Miami bass, he's more so a DJ and a scratcher. He can do the production and all that, but I don't think he was really trying to follow in our footsteps or trying to take it to the next level. He's just, hustling like everybody else. All that stuff comes from Miami. I'm gonna give you some history about this.
Okay.
Miami was the drug capital in the mid '80s. All of the guys from Miami that couldn't get a drug thing going on in the city of Miami or in Dade County or in Broward County took their game elsewhere. They took it further north of Florida, different spaces, different spots. Atlanta became a hot spot for a lot of Miami dudes that was hustling. They would go to they would go to Atlanta, go to South Carolina, North Carolina, Mississippi, Alabama, and terrorize these places. You've seen the movie New Jack City, right?
Yeah.
Where they infiltrate the Carter, and that's what kind of stuff these Miami dudes was doing. So the whole Miami lifestyle kind of transcended into a lot of these southern markets. So a lot of the records that guys were doing out of Atlanta was mimicking what we were doing. They were doing it kind of in their own little way. But they definitely got it from us. Well, I knew in '83 when I seen it in a music store in London when I was stationed overseas. I knew once I heard the sounds from it, along with me reading an article about the song Planet Rock, of how the record was actually made, what machines was made, what it was made from. Once I heard all of these sounds, I said, all of this stuff is on this machine. This is going to be the most innovative machine for I don't know how long, but it's going to be the one. I can't see any other machine going beyond it. And it's the truth. I mean, all of the sounds and elements are still used to this very day in all of the latest records right now. Well, the thing is just like I say, dance music is always gonna be an issue. And see, and that's the other thing that Miami bass has over all the other genres of hip hop. It's naturally dance music. I did it that way strictly because that's, the party is based off of, whether it's disco, up tempo, partying, having fun. You got slower records that, you can, bob your head and stuff like that too. That's cool. And you got grooves and all that, but when it comes to party, you have to put one of our records on, or a record that's in that lane, you know what I mean? So it doesn't surprise me that Black Eyed Peas them do the type of records that they do with our stuff. The thing that surprises me is that they want to shine for themselves. They're stealing shine. That's something that they should holler at us, hey, let's do a collab, or let's do this, that, and the other. Nah, they want to just do the record for themselves so they can get all the focal attention. Which is okay if that's what it is, and then you got a big company, Interscope, that's putting the muscle behind you to make you look like you're a king at what it is that you're doing. But but the young people don't know no better. They, a lot of the kids that's out in the clubs right now wasn't born in '85. You know what I mean? They weren't even running around yet. So a lot of them don't even know the stuff that's taken from other records. Yeah, because we sold a lot of records over here. I knew that, matter of fact, this guy named DJ West Bam, he did a remix of We Want Some Pussy way back in '87. And the record made so much noise, we didn't even know about the record. We didn't give him permission to mess with the record. He just took it and did his own thing. And then once we heard it, our people got the record, and they said that this guy over here has got your record. He said, okay, well, let him keep doing what he's doing, but we're going to take the record and put it out here in America. So we didn't ask him for the remix that he did. We just took it and put it out in all of the markets in the United States. So I knew from at that point we were a big deal overseas. We never got a chance to come over collectively as a group to Europe, but we knew that there was a lot of stuff that was going on with our stuff here. I would say so, but I'm not, I don't want to speak ignorant about it. I don't know what's going on in the London or England scene or Spain or Rio, or I don't know about, I know that those records get played in those type of areas, but I don't know the people, I don't have any context there to know how relevant it is.